I sure hope so. They sure make it feel like they are.
Yes.
And they're certainly fans of yours, and why not?
Well, I don't know. They're This is an interesting little set. This is very eclectic.
Thank you. Some of the furniture is eclectic. Some of it is early...
Well, it was not done by the same designer
time.
who did Dynasty, I don't think. Plants on the floor. Is this something new?
No, the band smokes this later on. They just... the guys work for scale here, so we want to make sure they feel comfortable. It is a great tribute to you, not only to be starring in a hit, one of the most popular shows on television, but it seems to me that you have become really kind of a prototype for American women who live vicariously through your exploits and through your give 'em heck philosophy on the show. Do you feel any of that kind of pressure when you're dealing with people?
Not really. I'm very flattered to think that that is true. I think that probably a lot of women feel that there's things about Alexis that they'd like to do, that she has that kind of attitude that she doesn't really care what people think, and she does what she wants, and she's unrelenting in what she wants to go and get, and she gets it. And I think that's a very good attitude for people to have, particularly women, because women have been doormats for a long time. Not recently. I mean, they're getting to be less doormats.
Welcome. And then... and then...
Can I get rid of this cushion?
But no, it is true, though, that somebody once said that women's intuition is really just man's transparency. That you were able to, that we are fools, and fools for women who look like you. But in the 80s, it's great that we're also able to see you have talent and speak up for yourselves and be aggressive. Do you find any difference between the English and the American women?
English and American women? Not really, no. I mean, I think that all women today have got the problems of being, you know, having a career and having a husband and having children and having to do two things. I think it's, particularly working women, I think it's tough.
Do you think they're any more liberated than American women? They do have a prime ministress.
Oh, yes, but yes, Maggie. No, I love her, actually. I think she's wonderful. Do you like her?
Have you met her? Yes. Well,
yes, I have met her, yes. She's like a marvelous schoolmistress. Mm-hmm. She's got tremendous charm, and she's very strong, and you wouldn't dare ever do anything naughty, because you feel she might wrap your knuckles with a ruler.
Yes, to tell the Argentines that. They
yes.
Found out the hard way.
Absolutely.
There is a survey that our people have provided that seems appropriate for you, because it's about American women's gripes about men. 72% of them, the women surveyed, were annoyed at being left at home while their husbands or boyfriends went out for a good time. Is that, I can't imagine that would have happened to you somehow.
No, strange enough. Well, what is a good time? I mean, maybe their idea of a good time is not the woman's idea of a good time. She should be glad to stay at home and do her nails or watch Dynasty on TV or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's obviously going to do something boring like going to a football match or going bowling or drinks and playing darts with the boys at the pub.
That's what she tells her,
yeah. No, don't want to do that.
Never try it.
It would be worse if he was going out to do something like go to a disco or a restaurant. Then he wouldn't want that.
He wouldn't do a thing like that. 55% of the women surveyed were annoyed at pictures of nude men in women's magazines. Now, fewer women were annoyed at pictures of nude women in men's magazines, which I thought was kind of interesting. You would think that they would protest on the basis of being sex objects, but do you have any opinions about that? Well,
yeah, I think that women are prettier than men, en general, and so therefore they would rather look at pictures of nude women. It's more accepted. I mean, the nude female body has been accepted as a sort of art form for thousands of years, and I don't think there's been too many nude males parading around, except for Michelangelo's statues, and they were covered with a fig leaf anyway. I think that what they resent is the sort of the full frontal, shall we say? Mm-hmm. You know what that means?
Cable nudity.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah. We have to take a short break. We'll be back with Joan right after these words. Thank you, Joan. It was fun to survey you like this. They're all surveying. Sitting with Joan Collins. Lucky me. The fellows have just surveyed their brains out here. I was going to stop, but my goodness, there are some things that you would no doubt be able to comment on. One gripe was that women feel that men regard lovemaking as a contest, as a competition, as a game show.
I didn't know I was going to have to answer all these questions.
Well, the women who were surveyed were sitting back. They were griping about having to answer surveys like this. Probably.
Yes. What was the question again? A contest, yes. What time is this show on?
Probably right now, I think, as we're speaking.
I don't know. That doesn't say too much to the man, does it?
Unless he wins.
Yeah.
I mean, unless... The worst, a draw would be good. But there is speculation that men are intimidated by strong women, and that maybe men prefer not to have that much of a competition or a challenge from women.
Yeah, I see what you mean. In other words, that men would prefer to have this sort of little young blonde who hasn't had too much experience and hasn't been around too much, because they know that they're not going to have be compared unfavorably to other contenders, as it were.
Sounds like a competition to me. What?
I mean,
sounds like Rocky 3 through 10 that covered the sequel.
But that could be, I don't know any men like that.
But you're a strong woman.
Very,
so
yes. You want to feel my muscle?
And you, thank you, but we're not on that late. Now that you're a single woman, do you meet...
What?
Do you meet men who are only the strong survive with you, Joan? Or?
I meet a lot of men in my business.
So you don't...
Sounds terrible. What business?
Yeah.
You know...
Stomaville will be driving Joan out to the corner of Hollywood and Vine right after you see.
You know, man and women are women. Never the twain shall meet.
There's an opportunity for you now to become, since we have been memorializing segments of this show, at least in our own feeble minds, for you to become the first celebrity plug on the show.
Oh, good.
In that you have a book coming out.
I do, yes. It's coming out in February. It's called Past Imperfect, and it's the story of my life. It has some ups and downs and ups and kind of interesting things. And there's the story basically about an actress's struggle for survival in a business that is not exactly noted for its sort of survival. And how I've kind of made it in this business, and now, of course, made it rather better than before.
Certainly have.
Yeah.
Do you have a magnanimous feeling about the people who maybe before have rejected you or said, no, you're not right? Because now you're a huge star and you can pretty much call the shots.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the whole thing about being an actor. You've got to be able to cope with rejection. And as long as you don't take it personally, which is difficult to take, because when an actor gets rejected, they get rejected for their voice, their personality, their looks, their hair, whatever. Whereas if a person who makes sofas gets rejected, they get rejected for the sofa that they make. So it's difficult to try and divorce yourself from that. But it is the most difficult thing being an actor, to be able to say, right, I'm not going to let this get me down, and sort of go back to the next audition the next day. I should write a handbook for actors, actually, and actresses, of course.
But when you're big, do you ever want to kind of give it to the people who held you down before? Well, give them a shot, you know, and say, listen.
What for?
Well, because there are vendettas, there's resentment, there's bitterness that builds up in a lot of actors. Maybe they don't take it as well as you do. Obviously, you're adjusted. And
I'm very adjusted, yes. 3 marriages, I'm very adjusted. No, first of all, I think it's a total waste of time to be bitter or envious or have vendettas. I mean, there are other things you can do. I mean, people like that, you just forget about them. They're just past history. I have no animosity towards anybody. Nobody who turned me down for a role, nobody who was rotten to me. No, those people, they'll get what they deserve. I won't give it to them, but they'll get it.
Well, you're getting what you deserve,
I think people do.
Yes. A lovely woman, a fine actress, and you've been a spiffy guest. I'm real delighted that you could join us.
Spiffy?
Thank you. I know that...
Thank you.
It's an English term. We have to have a commercial, and then we'll be back and do some more stuff.